Can you hear me? Okay, wait, something is, I'm not sure if the audio is right. I need to have, to figure out how to have Pinball Wizard from The Who playing in the background. Okay, so here we are. Let's play pinball. And the Pinball Wizard's not me. The Pinball Wizard are you. I'm your host. But I will say, for those of you that were here in the morning, hi Selena. For those of you that were here in the morning, we talked about a fly centered in this area. Now a lot has changed to the structure of since this time with the passage of time and with trading, but we still kind of have that same basic structure with the center at, we were talking about 65, 70, 65 or 70, 85, and 95 on top as a structure. And let's see, I guinea pigged myself and did, where was it? Did this, is that it? Yeah, I made it too narrow. I made it too narrow. Oh, I had another one over here somewhere. I ended up with a Frankenstein fly. So I could just close that thing out and just make it so. Anyway, it's up a couple cents, whatever. So let's see. Uh, who's got some pin prices that they're looking at? And of course, we should look at Charm. And I have to check. I know Menthol Q has. Take and see what that looks like. Let's go here real quick to Charm. Anybody on YouTube or on X got some numbers? Throw them out. Okay, so let's see what we can see. Let's really zoom in here where the action is. That 90, 95 area, which was kind of the top of the normal chop, for lack of a better word, unless we like broke out, is still doing its job holding us. That's why we were looking at a 90 or 95 top on the fly. If we get caught underneath this 85, then you just have to see, that becomes a math problem. So here's the 85 is interesting, and let's talk about why. Let's go back to 85. Let's go to the trade tab. So 85 is a 56 delta. The 90 is a 25 delta. Let's talk about this 56 delta. That means for whatever number of contracts the market makers own, they've got to be long or short depending on where we are with that trade. And I have to go back and look. I think they have to be long those deltas. So now what happens, those 85 deltas? The 85 is 50 delta. Now what happens if we go up, if we're at 86 or 87 with 1 minute left to go, 5 minutes left to go? This thing whooshes to a 1 delta and we could end up here. Conversely, if we're below this, this goes to a 50 delta, and then below, and then this delta starts falling, and then we could end up down in this zone. So where we are the last few minutes obviously is going to matter, and that's why we sometimes get those crazy moves. Let's go back and see what the actual positioning is. So what's the actual positioning? For that, I don't have to, I can just look over here on depth view, and then we're going to look at mental. There's some market maker positions. Okay. Okay, so there's not much going on at 85, it looks like. 80 is a big number. Market makers are short. And 90 is a big number. The market makers are long, rather. So that's the number that's going to matter. What did I do with my little snack? I guess I must have left it in the other room. So market makers are long these. Customers sold it to them. So what is this? What delta does this go to? Is the question. 75 looks kind of rock solid here. Let's take a peek what's going on for tomorrow. More selling of the 5,300. CPI day is, I think, the 15th or the 16th. We can do something a little more comprehensive on the positioning for CPI later on, maybe tomorrow. 5250 are sold. So, okay, so tomorrow the big stuff is up at 5350, but I'm pretty sure there's no juice there now. But if there were juice in the juice bar, no, nothing there. Any juice for Monday up there? A little juice for Monday up here. I'll do one for fun. They don't want to film me. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, so this is the market maker positions. Market makers are long these. And now if we go to charm, that's the wrong one. And now we're slipping right into that channel. So we have that if over 85, drift right up to here. Where you looking, Joel? We could make it up here. No. Let me see something real quick. Where's my screen with VIX? Oh, okay, so it's covered. Let me see what happens if I do that. And if I do that, you guys seeing my VIX is down at 15.7. Wow. No, you're not seeing what I want you to see. Okay. Let's just go back to what we were doing. Go back to what I know how to do. Let's just go take a look over here at VIX. Let's just go to Trading View, keep it simple. Now let's take a look at one of our little volatility dashboards. So this looks like a VVIX puke. Remember we were talking about it was up near 100 the other day. VVIX is volatility of demand, just as say the demand for volatility, demand for VIX calls and puts. The calculation is the same as it goes into the VIX, only yes, for next week. And I was going to look at that tomorrow. I've been remiss on doing my calendars and diagonals lately. I just got lazy. Got to start getting that back into the book. You got any calendars on, Joel, or diagonals, or is that not your pitch? Okay, so we don't want to see this twice. This is VIX. Let's go VIX 9-day over here. So VIX 9-day, which basically takes us to options expiration. Yeah, 63.50, yeah. Now, Joel, when you say mean a condor, because basically a fly only the short strikes are two of them, or are you talking about an iron condor? Because as we know, technically, a condor, and let's just model it out for fun, a condor would be, and let's just pick a number up here, 5350. Just kind of doing this. Technically, a condor would be something like this. People typically do them equal. So that's just, so it's like a fly, only instead of doing it with two at the same strike, you give yourself a wider tent. And for 75 cents, that might be fun. That's a condor. If I get filled, I get filled. Okay, so you're talking about a real live condor. Yeah, I figured you knew what that was. I mean, you would center it at the 50. I mean, make your top strike the 50. And this gives me plenty of optionality to build around. I don't mind having a little cheap structure like this to play with. Just depending on where things go from there. Now, if I looked and had a thesis, I would make it 15 wide, 15. I would spread it out much more. But this is more just This is more just my play account, my small account, my demo account, my experimental account, where I just kind of throw some trades on, see what happens. Like I threw this VIX trade on. I did it in size in my regular account, but I threw this trade on whenever it was. When we had popped for what I don't remember if it was I think it was like the Iran bombing thing, and this seemed like a pretty good, simple little broken wing just for fun. Now that's one of them up 58%. Do 10 or 20, and suddenly you're making a couple cents. Okay, good. I want it down there. And now we're kind of caught below it. So what happened to the delta of those? We're going back to SPX. So yeah, look at that. Look at how my P&L jumped on that. So now those 85s went from a 50 delta to a 25 delta. That's a fair amount of selling. We go below 80. Remember, these were like an 80 or 90, 80 delta, whatever it is. So there's that selling. And 75 was where that 75, the morning, that 75.80 seemed like where we should pin. And we overshot, we undershot. Yeah, yeah, yesterday's teaching session in the Discord. I not sure if I put the PDF in the Discord. If not, I'll do it, you know, this evening, or today. Actually, as soon as I get off, let me throw it in there so that let me throw it in there so I don't forget. 55. So, are we talking about next week again? I'm guessing we are. So, you would put your top strike up at 55 to give it room to run up there? So, let's see. Do I want to roll the dice or take the money or what? Let's see. First things first. Yeah, 55.60. Okay. Where's that fly that I bought? You got so many trades. Oh, here we go. How's this one doing? Okay, $5 from 80 cents. We want to get out of that. It's hard. Okay, goodbye, good luck. $5 from 80 cents. We like those. How wide you do it? 5, 5, 5, 5 like that, or you spread them out? No, why is that leaving that? Oh, because I broke something up here. Let's close that. Okay. Now I guess left with this. All right. Took the $500 win on that of 400. So what's going on here? Oh, I closed that out. Okay. Why does it say so much buying power? Something doesn't look right. Let's go back to here. Yeah, it looks kind of like we're stuck there. I don't know why this keeps defaulting to gamma. I keep wanting it to be customer's position number. It just defaults to what it wants. So here's goes us with prices. Let's take a quick peek at the Menthol Q charm tool. I haven't really looked at it. I might have glanced at it briefly. Spread out, he says. Okay. All right. Launch app. Okay. No, where I forgot how to use this thing already. Ball surface. I guess maybe I have to do the intraday to get the charm. I know this makes thrilling viewing. Key level 62. 62, 62. I don't think that's right. Oh, that was maybe yesterday when I was started. Implied volatility, volatility, smile. I could have sworn there was a charm tool that I saw here. Maybe I was hallucinating. Oh, add command. I don't see charm. Maybe I lied. Open, just swing levels, blind spots. Just a vol surface. Okay. So never mind. No charm. Let's go back to the OGOD. Coming right in here. Okay, pencils down. 280, huh? 280, who's your daddy? And just in the woulda, coulda, shoulda department. it turned out that it was a good thing that I got out of it where I did. Got out for $400. See, that would have been 65 cents. Oh no, that's not the one. Where is it? Oh, here's one fly I had. What? I guess it's not gonna let me do it because the market closed. Yeah, 6,300 looks pretty in the cards. I agree. What's going on here for tomorrow? Couldn't hurt to do something like this as a placeholder for $1.30. I don't mind that. We have all those calls that were sold at 53.50. And now let's go back here. Do I have depth view here? Okay. So let's see what tomorrow looks like. Oh, these are long. For Friday, surprisingly, okay, well, we have 2,000, almost 3,000 calls at 5,300 along with Joel. Yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. So this is just another way to look at it. Instead of the bars, we're looking at depth view. So customers are long, market makers short, magnet up at 6,300. Who would have thought? So 6,300 is the main event. We got short calls at 62.60. Now there, I don't know if those came in today or when they came in. Oh, we just got an update. We just got some more calls coming in at 6,300. That must have been Joel buying 500. Down below 6,200. We got all this stuff down here. Right, that was you, Joel. I know. Come on, don't be modest. We got all this crap down here that people probably bought overpaid when they were scared. I mean, 61.50 or 61 and a quarter didn't look like a bad idea a week ago. Suddenly doesn't look like such a good idea anymore. And if they're close enough, that gives us a little fuel. Let's look at the AM monthly while we're at it. Right. 63.65. So let's take a look at 63.65. 63.30. Okay, so what's going on up here? Let's think this through. So we have a potential magnet here, another potential magnet here. What's the expected move for tomorrow? 25. Kind of muted. 23, so let's call it 25. So that puts us in range of this. And so a 30-35 is a quarter. Oh, 60. Oh, okay. Oh, you're looking at the put side. My bad. Oh, going to 35. Now, that 35, as you remember, has been showing up all day, every day. We've been talking about that. That's probably decent. I like to go a little wider and a little further. But I'll take that for 65 cents, 70 cents, even better. If they'll film me. See, why don't they want to film me? Because liquidity sucks and bid ask spreads wide. But these spreads look okay. All right, let's chase it. Just one for fun. Okay, now let's get another view. Let's get a more granular view over here. Let's look at the dashboard so we can really see what it looks like. Specific. We want to see, this is Friday, right? We want to see Friday. Position number. We don't need to go all the way down there. Let's go to 61.95, just out of respect. 63.55 out of respect. There's all those customer long calls that you have to take into, I mean, short calls, they have to take into account, but that's going to distort just doesn't pass the eyeball test good. So let's bring it down one. There you go. So suddenly you see it, you see the view a little differently. So below 60, kind of gets a little funky. But below 60 is kind of just outside the expected move. There's 40. There's enough here to keep it there. I mean, I'd like to be below 25, but then you have to sell wider. You're taking more risk. I guess got filled on the 25s down here. 20 is even better down here. All right. I'm going to. Okay, so once again, I like showing people this. And I think this is true. It's my theory anyway, so it's true as far as I'm concerned. Again, it's not a crazy theory. What the hell happened here? Okay. So what I want to look at here, see how when we closed, we got a pretty big whoosh down? What that tells me is that what we saw at the end of the day was that mechanical hedging, and now We have real price discovery, we'll call it. I don't know if I'm using that term exactly right according to Hoyle, but we have real price discovery. And now we see where we should have closed. Let's make it 5 minutes so we can see even more clearly. There we go. So where did we close? Right here, 4 o'clock. We had that charm-induced pump and pullback. And 4 o'clock, as soon as that was done, real money, quote unquote, price discovery. I mean, it's not a big drop, but if it's dropping. It looks like might want to head to this area here. Now I would have to put my TA hat on and say we have a pivot here at 70-ish on the 5 minute. I'm channeling my inner Greg from Master Trader. So we have a pivot here around 65. So kind of a price void, down, up, topping pattern, island, Schmiland reversal, whatever. So that would be a possible reasonable target. We got this pivot here down at 43. That's where buy it, right? Yeah. And 65 has been showing up again and again. That was the close a few days ago. 65 has been showing up again and again, and 35 has been showing up again and again. Do we have anything at 35? I could torture the data and pretend we do, but maybe. But I don't. Oh, we closed around 30, 35. What day was that? Friday, maybe? Let me do this so we can see where the closes were. Maybe 2 days ago, on Tuesday, we closed at 35. Yeah, the real low pivot is 20. I agree. I'm trying to torture the data. Come on, man. Well, no, you, you can make a case for a 30 pivot. I mean, this is a better one. 25. You can make a case for something down here. Now, if I want to look longer-ish term, I like 65 minutes. So who knows why I like 65, not 60 or 55? I'll give you a hint. How many 60s go evenly into a trading day? Answer, none, because a trading day is 6.5 hours. Okay, well, trading day is 6.5 hours, so you don't have six. You don't have six. You have 6 full hours and a half hour for that last candle. 65 goes into a trading day perfectly 6 times. You get 6 candles in a trading day for the 65. So when I want to look at a longer time frame, I can look that way. And here's Joel's 62.20. And yeah, it's there. So now you understand why I said that, Selena? Why 65? 60 doesn't fit into a day evenly. The 6.5 hours, so 60, you're going to be breaking the candle in half. You're not going to get a whole candle. Now, a lot of people use it, and futures it kind of. Now, 30 minutes fits evenly into the day. There's 2 30 minutes in an hour, so there's 13 of these in a day. So it's just easier on the eye when you don't break up the day, at least for me. And that was another trick I got from Greg, Master Trader. Okay, I'm gonna go. The goats have been neglected, so I got goats to feed and let out, whatever. And I put pictures of my goats on Twitter. So stay tuned for pictures of the goats if they do anything cute. They've been climbing the trees lately, which has been cute. You're welcome. Hope this is helpful. I hope this is helpful. I didn't even do the shameless plug with my links, but that's okay. All right. Good night, everybody.